Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Never Lose Your Nerd. This episode, I'm going to go over Daredevil Born Again, episode 4. This one was a pretty good episode. Most people are saying it's the best of the series so far. Well, this season especially. I would probably agree. This episode, well, I guess I always forget to do this, but spoilers in case you haven't seen it. But if you clicked on the video, I guess you don't care about spoilers. But we are introduced back into the Punisher for this episode. I actually just finished season 1 of the original Daredevil series, so I'm going to be doing a video about that. Hopefully by the end of the week, hope maybe by next week I'll have it out. So I will have a review of season 1 of the original Daredevil series. I finally started to catch up on that, and I'm already 3 or 4 episodes into the new season. I know a lot of people are comparing the rooftop scene from episode 2 to this scene with Frank Castle. It is, um, I would say emotionally, this episode was better, or this scene was better. But I think the other one was better. There was more action, which of course more action doesn't make anything good or bad. But I think emotional wise, this one was better. But the other one was, I think, more enjoyable to watch. I think. Um, Let me know what y'all think. Which one do y'all prefer? Do y'all prefer it from the original series? Do y'all prefer it from this one? I mean, it all adds to the show overall. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I've just heard debates and people talking about it. So let me know which one y'all prefer. Getting into the episode, we start off with, of course, White Tiger, Hector Ayala got killed. The end of the last episode was very sad. We got introduced to his niece, Angela Del Toro, and I saw some people say that she took the amulet at the end. I might have just missed that part because I thought Matt Murdock had it, or I thought they gave it back to the coroners. I'm not sure if she does. That could be the beginning of a new hero's journey. Perhaps she takes the amulet. Perhaps she becomes a new character. I'm not sure if she's in the comics, if this has anything to do with comics or anything that's happened before. If you know, let me know. I haven't really researched it, so I'm not sure, but it could be the beginning of possibly her following in her uncle's footsteps in the future. We don't know yet. We'll find out. We do see Matt Murdock kind of walking the streets, and he's kind of doing his own investigation, and he hears people throwing bottles and throwing stuff, and he has the idea to, I guess, roll something down the street and see maybe if the casing fell, maybe which way it would fall. Like I said, a lot of this show, especially the first season, you gotta suspend your disbelief because the stuff he can do and the stuff that happens is just like sometimes really ridiculous and just unbelievable. It's kind of like the cops couldn't figure this out. Did anybody really do an investigation and figure this out? Nobody could have thought about this. And then just so happens he rolls a bottle down the street. And just so happens it has to land exactly where the bullet casing is. Very convenient and very convenient for me, but he finds the casing, and for some reason, it has the Punisher logo on it. Unless somebody just really dumb trying to show up their cards or something, or they're trying to frame Frank Castle or somebody. That's just kind of stupid to do. Why would you put your symbol on a bullet casing that could be found? Why wouldn't you go find the casing and pick it up? So like I said, a lot of things in this show and stuff like that are just kind of like, did they actually think about this when they were writing the show, or when they shot this? Like this would be just way too convenient, or just kind of wouldn't make sense. But I don't know. Something kind of bothered me a little bit. But we get to see Mayor Fisk in a pretty funny part where he's having to listen to these children's choirs and stuff singing "We Built This City." He happened to him a couple times, and yeah, it kind of felt like at some point he was just kind of gonna kind of explode and just start yelling at people and just start storming out or just go crazy. Which he had that look in his face, but he just kind of started cheering and acting happy. But I thought that was kind of funny. We also get to see him with the therapist a little bit more, and with Vanessa. There was at one point where the therapist asked her afterwards, like, "Do you feel safe?" Because the implications are, of course, that he's done something to Adam. I mean, um, Vanessa, or not Vanessa, but Heather doesn't know exactly, of course, what he does, but they say it's always business, which business is kind of a code word for illegal activities because he's the mayor and what kind of business would he be hiding? So, the implications are that, I mean, he loves her, but of course, he's doing shady stuff behind the scenes, or perhaps he's a violent person. That's why she asked him at the end, "Do you feel safe?" And she's like, "Yes, I do." But then at the end, she questions him, like, "Should I feel safe? Is Adam okay? Like, did you kill him?" But he did make the promise that he wouldn't kill him. I mean, we find out later that he's still alive. But I'm wondering if this is going to lead to perhaps at the end of the series, maybe he kills Vanessa. That could be a big twist because he loves her. He'd do anything for her. But I think one of the biggest twists for him and one of the biggest downfalls for him would be to kill her or him actually harming her. And so that's something something that came into my mind, like perhaps could happen. Like I said, the end of the show could cause him to really go off the deep end, him harming her, possibly killing her, perhaps by the end of this series, whenever it's over with. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that theory. Another interesting part was whenever he met with the guy, Leroy Bradford, the career criminal, the guy couldn't catch a break, which I don't know. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. Couldn't catch a break. I mean, I understand you commit a crime, maybe perhaps you're sorry and you try to live your life and you try to get back and do better. But if you've got this rap sheet this long and you're constantly committing crimes, I mean, at some point, you're just a criminal. I mean, you can't be asking for sympathy when you're constantly in jail, constant because I've made mistakes. Done a lot of stupid things, and you know I could have gone down a path worse, but I turned my life around, and I'm much better for it. So you can turn your life around. There are ways to not just become a career criminal and keep doing these same things over and over. So I didn't feel any sympathy for him, honestly. And they tried to make him sympathetic, which I didn't agree with. Talking about begging her for probation. I'm not gonna take this and that, but he ended up getting like a 10-day sentence, which he should have been grateful for. This guy seemed very ungrateful and like he was owed something. So I honestly didn't really like his character. Like I said, I had no sympathy for him. I kind of like this guy deserves to go to jail for a lot longer. Perhaps if he had some real consequences, perhaps he would stop doing the things he's doing. But it seems like he just keeps doing it, keeps getting out, keeps getting a slap on the wrist, and he's just gonna keep doing it forever. So, but he did mention scrolls, like could have been a scroll, so we had a little hint of that. Don't know where that's gonna go or anything, but that was just something they threw in there. Like I said at first I thought he said scroll, but he did say scroll because I've heard people talk about it too. So that was just something interesting that came up in the show. And then I guess the biggest part of the episode was whenever Daredevil um he went to find Frank Castle and um they had the big showdown about, are you coming for my approval or are you coming to um he was kind of questioning why he was coming to see him, basically like you're coming for my approval, like you want me to tell you it's okay, which I guess he kind of was. 'Cause what other reason would he go down there to talk to him? But besides, and I guess come to find out he's known where he's been this entire time. Punisher's not in a great state of mind, of course. He's just down at this raggedy place doing whatever for however many years it's been. So we don't know where this is going to lead in the future, perhaps a team up. But it was very emotional the way Frank Castle was confronting him, telling him, even him, like he always hears his son in his head telling him, go get the guys, get revenge. So we know by the end, Daredevil is gonna put back on the suit. We saw him training at the end to go kill. He's gonna go find the guys who did it. He's probably gonna kill him. I think it's that dirty cop. Probably we're gonna have another showdown probably with that cop and then some other guys. So we'll see where that leads. If it leads to Fist getting his own team together, and like I said, where all that leads, I don't know. And then another thing that happened is one of his assistants, Daniel, was responsible for the leaks, calling this Merrick garbage. He was out at the club with those two girls and ended up giving up information. But he didn't get fired. He apologized, which Fisk likes loyalty. He likes people to be honest with him. And Sheila was another one that Fitz just wants to do what he wants to do. He doesn't really want to listen, but he does listen to reason. But he just wants to do everything right here, right now, fast. I just want to get what I want done. But of course, there's red tape, there's procedures, and all this stuff he wants to get done. So he has to do it by the book if he wants to do it legally. And come to find out at the end, he has Adam basically in a dungeon in a cell. He's been keeping him locked up. So Adam is alive. He's not dead. So I guess he has kept his promise about that. So we're gonna see where that leads. And then Muse at the very end has some poor guy jogging down in the sewers and looked like he was draining his blood. I guess that's what he uses for his paint. It's people's blood. That's pretty gruesome and disgusting. So we'll see what happens with this Muse character. But yeah, basically, I think that's all I had in my notes. Um, I said, let me know if y'all like the episode. What y'all's thoughts and theories about it for the future. My next video is probably going to be over Severance, the finale. I can't wait for that. So if you like Severance, be looking for that by the end of the week. Hopefully, I can make that video. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to call it. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.